my friends, it's Chris here. So this video is how to set up your hammock. So I have everything I need in this backpack. Okay, let's do this. Peace! So the step number 1, you need to measure distance between trees. And in my opinion, the best distance is 5 big steps. I know you're gonna say somebody's steps are big, somebody's small, but in other words, about 5 meters. Why 5? Because you need to consider that you are also using tarp, and tarps usually are about 4 meters or even longer. So that's one point. Another point is that it's really good distance to hang your hammock on the right angles. And for me personally, that distance perfectly works for 9-foot hammock, 10-foot hammock, 11 or 12-foot hammock. So in my opinion, that's perfect. So you basically measure the distance by making 5 big steps. So I will show you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. It could be 4 steps, but then you probably will have some problems with adding tarp, and I'm not suggesting, so 5 is perfect. You can do 6 or even 7, but in that case you're gonna need your straps really high. The farther the distance, the higher you need to put your straps to have a perfect angle for hammock. So these 5 steps are perfect because straps will be on manageable height. So, step 2. This is adding your straps to the trees. So in this video I'm going to use these Eno Helios XL straps. But it doesn't matter what kind of straps you have, maybe even just a rope or something. Because there are many types of straps, there are daisy chains, there are straps with the buckle systems and so on. But these are whoopee sling type straps from Dyneema. I like them because they are lightweight. And also you need to consider diameter of your trees you are using. Don't use very thin young trees that are not holding your weight, you know. So the best, something like this. But don't use trees like this or like that. Just have a respect for nature. And also don't use too thick trees. It will be very hard to put your strap on, and also the bigger diameter, the shorter will be strap in the end. So I remember once I had on the one side tree like this, and on the other side it was 3 times bigger. And my straps were too short to hang up a hammock. So also a nice tip is to have a long straps. So these are XL straps, these are about 4.2 meters or something. So those straps with the 3.5 meters or 3 meters in my opinion are so. I'm all about long straps because I had many times that I needed to use trees about 7 meters apart or 6 meters apart. So yeah, this is nice thing to have a long straps. But you always can make some extension from the rope or something. Just use some adequate rope for that. Okay, first things first. So the good starting point is to put your strap about head height, maybe a little bit higher, somewhere here on the both sides. So normally you have a loop like this, you just place around the tree and feed your strap through and tighten it. So place it around, feed it through. And secure in a place. But there is one tip I want to show you about longevity of your straps. Come on. So naturally you want to do like this. You tighten it up and hang hammock this way. But if you do this way, there's a lot of tension on this part over here. And that's not good for longevity of your straps. So the nice tip is to have your strap on the side like this, and hammock goes this way. In this case, you see, there is not tension at all. So this part is only for holding the strap around the tree. And the friction around the tree is that's what's holding your strap, you see? So I can pull with all my power, you see? But this part here stays without tension. So this is nice tip. I'm suggesting to use this way, not on the middle. And this is even worse if you put on the other side and then tension it. There is a lot of force on this part over here, so that's not good. So this is bad, this is so, and this is great. So same thing on the other side. So step 3 is connecting your hammock to your straps. In my case, I'm using carabiners, but there's other ways to connect your hammocks. Some hammocks have buckle systems and some other hardware to attach it to. So this is the moment you choose which will be head end and which will be foot end. So it depends of scenery you want to see. If you want to see that way and that way, or maybe there's a beautiful lake over there or something, you decide which will be head end and which foot end. Okay, let's do this. And step number 4 is to adjust your straps to get a perfect hang for your hammock. And that's about 30 degrees on your straps. So this step is really important because it makes a huge difference in the sleep. This is a little bit complicated, but at the same time it's really easy. You just need to know what you are doing. So how to measure those 30 degrees? Just using your thumb and index finger. You place your thumb where is the tree and use your index finger to measure. So actually at the moment it's perfect. You see, there's the strap coming from here to here, from this finger to that one. So actually this is already perfect 30 degrees, and same you are doing on the other side. So actually also on this side it's perfect, but not so fast. As you can see, my hammock is really low. So in this case I need to lift it up. It is the best to have your hammock centered, so you need to consider this distance and that one. But don't worry, sometimes your hammock needs to hang closer to the one tree, and that's not a big deal. But the best is to have it centered. So you need to think about angles, that's one. Second, you need to think about height. And third, I will show you later. So let's make it a bit higher. So the perfect height for your hammock is the same as you sitting in a chair. So you can easily get out and in, and your butt or underquilt is not touching the ground. So the same height as a chair. So in my case it's too low because my butt almost touching the ground. And the second problem, you see, this ridgeline is very loose. Also one tip, it is the best if you have ridgeline on your hammock, and normally it's about 83% from the length of your hammock. But don't be so strict on that number, it can be a little bit longer or a little bit shorter, but for me personally it works perfectly. Ridgeline makes a huge difference and it's a multi-purpose, but that will be for another video. This video is about hanging up your hammock, so in this case ridgeline is a good indicator to adjust your hammock. So if your ridgeline is too loose, you just simply tighten up your straps, or in other words, you're shortening them. So you just sit inside, check height. At the moment, as you can see, this is perfect height. The same as sitting in a chair. It's easy to get out and also to get in. So this is perfect height. so that your butt is not touching the ground. There is still space for underquilt and you can get easy in and out from your hammock. And the next thing, you check the tension of your ridgeline. So what's the perfect tension for your ridgeline? You're using your fist and your thumb. Yeah, again thumb. There's thumb techniques all over the place in this video, I know. But yeah, that's the truth. You use your fist and your thumb. So you grab your ridgeline like this, and with the thumb you push it up, okay? And this is perfect tension. Idea is you should be able to twist it 45 degrees, okay? And not like super strong that your thumb will fail or something. No, you should easily lift it like this, on a 45 degrees angle. That's perfect. If you can lift it up on 90 degrees angle, ridgeline is still too loose. If you are struggling to push it only like this, it's too tight. So adjusting it by adjusting one or two your straps. If everything else is fine, the height of your hammock, the level of hammock, but the ridgeline is too tight, so you just choose one side, for example this one, and you need to do two things to not mess up height of your hammock, also the level and everything else. So you need to rise up this connection point about this high, so something like this. And also at the same time you need to make this strap a little bit longer. Otherwise, if you just raise it up, you will mess up everything. The height of your hammock, also ridgeline, will be even tighter. Okay, so that's the main tip I'm using when I'm setting up my hammock. So if your ridgeline is too loose, just make shorter one or both your straps. It depends on the level you want to create on your hammock. But if everything is fine but your ridgeline is still too tight, just raise up one side and make it a little bit longer. That's it, and you are done. So now you have perfect angles on the straps, perfect height on your hammock, perfect tension on the ridgeline. So what's next? There is something else. You need to consider to put your hammock on a level, just a little bit. So your head end is about this lower, connected to the tree, as it is on a foot end. So this is because when you are laying inside the hammock, you will naturally slide in your sweet spot. And I'm not talking about G-spot, that's sweet spot, okay? So when your hammock is on an angle, you're gonna slide towards the head end, and that's the sweet spot, okay? Normally you lay in a hammock when your head is closer to the end of your hammock and you have still a lot of room on a foot end. So sleeping centered in the hammock, it's not comfortable, okay? Also, when you are setting up your underquilt, it's closer to the head end as it is on a foot end. So in this step, you just place your head end lower or place your foot end higher. You choose. It depends of situation. But there's the catch. Actually, when you are adjusting something on your hammock, is it angle or height or tension on the ridgeline or leveling your hammock, angles on your straps will change. So you need to adjust them again. You need to jump back to step 3. But if those angles are close enough, that's okay, don't worry. So I will show you angles on this tree bark, okay? It's very beautiful tree bark, wow. Okay, so this is tree and this is strap. So now it's perfect hang, about 30 degrees. If it's like this, it's still okay. It's maybe just a little bit like this, it's also okay. But if your straps is straight like this, it's a lot of tension on your hammock. And also it is not comfortable to sleep in that hammock. I'm telling you, it makes a huge difference to set your hammock right way. I know sometimes it takes too much time. Once I had, I believe, 40 minutes I needed to set up my hammock. Yeah. But normally it's not too long, okay? Don't worry. So another extreme, if it's something like this, it's not possible to tension your ridgeline if your straps is like this, okay? So make sure it's about those 30 degrees, okay? So Yeah, it sounds a little bit complicated, I know, but if you want to hang your hammock nicely and super comfortable, it is what it is. That's the life. So step number 5 is to enjoy your cozy lay in your hammock with some coffee and cookies. An extra bonus tip: don't lay in your hammock like banana, okay? When you sleep inside the hammock, you sleep diagonally. So head is on the one side and the feet is on the other. Don't lay straight like this. The hammock will fold you like banana. It's not comfortable. Maybe for somebody is, but basically you sleep diagonally, okay? So you sit inside the hammock, then lay, put your feet on one side and the head on the other side. So when you're sleeping, the ridgeline should be on the one side like this, not in the middle. So that's it for this video. I hope you learned something. Maybe it was entertaining. As usual, stay safe, leave no trace, be good to other people and get out to the nature. So see you on the next one. Peace!